Since the beginning of time, mankind has been fascinated by the concepts of flight. From the mystical origins of mythology to our era of supersonic speeds, the strivings of human nature have compelled our kind to explore beyond what was ever thought possible. Our story begins with the ancient Greeks, who were the first to transcribe a popular myth concerning flight. The myth explains that Daedalus, a prisoner of King Minos, fabricated a pair of wings fastened by wax and feathers for him and his son, Icarus, to escape the evil king's prison. The flight was cut short for Icarus because he flew too close to the sun and the wax melted his wings away. He then plummeted into the waters and depths of legend, where flight was a mysterious and dangerous fear. Yet as time went on, humans began to see flight as a challenge rather than an unconquerable feat. One example was a Chinese fascination with kites, which were often used for warfare. Experiments involving these kites were conducted on convicted prisoners, as the kites were not expected to maintain a steady flight. Yet one such kite experiment steadily carried Prince Wang Dao over the prison walls in the year 1099, in what is now considered the first unpowered human flight. Nearly 600 years later, Leonardo da Vinci became the first individual inventor to envision a helicopter, an invention which he coined an ornithopter. The ornithopter was an ingeniously designed small-winged machine that could fly as smooth as a sailing eagle. Yet there is no evidence Leonardo ever built or tested his nature-inspired ornithopter. So despite his innovation, da Vinci's plans remained on the yellow papers for centuries. Although da Vinci's idea to conquer the skies may not have been achieved by him, two brothers successfully did just that nearly 300 years later. The Montgolfier brothers sent a rooster, a sheep, and a duck soaring high above France for 8 fateful minutes on September 19, 1783, in what is now known as a hot air balloon. On October 15 that same year, they untethered their balloons with 2 human passengers in them, resulting in the first piloted flight. Although the Montgolfier brothers were able to pilot their balloon, the first powered flight was accomplished by another pair of brothers nearly 120 years later. On December 17, 1903, the Wright brothers kicked off a new century with the first powered flight in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Originally bicycle shop owners, they pioneered the 3-axis control, which allowed a single pilot to steer an aircraft effectively. Their contributions allowed flight to become an applicable, safe means of transportation. With the industrialized state of the world in the early 1900s, newfangled airplanes became more widely available to the public. Pilots became the new rulers of the skies. One famous aviator was Charles Lindbergh, who won the Orteig Prize by flying the Spirit of the St. Louis from New York to Paris across the Atlantic non-stop. In a society where women were striving for equality, Amelia Earhart was one of the first notable female pilots. By completing the first ever solo flight around the entire Atlantic Ocean, she received the U.S. Distinguished Flying Cross and became an icon for women everywhere. Although mankind had finally taken to the skies, we continued to push the boundaries of science and technology. With the first supersonic flight performed by Charles Chuck Yeager in the Bell X-1 in October 1947, mankind broke the sound barrier for the first time. We also pushed the boundaries of flight with the creation of the Bell Model 47 helicopter. This helicopter was the first model of the modern helicopter as we know it today. From Icarus to Amelia, many figures have fallen from great heights in the name of innovation. Yet, to this day throughout history, fear has never stopped the innate human desire to take to the skies. Today, there are still many things we have yet to learn about flight and the scientific and complex world around it. Technology Student Association encourages its participants to explore the world of flight in conjunction with science, technology, engineering, and math in hopes that one day they will become aviation innovators themselves.